that I took when I wanted to get myself started with, not like after I've gotten started actually, but I wanted to just go into motion graphics again. And I took that course and it was very fun. The guy explained everything so well. So we have one aspect of our graphics design course, which is creating design graphics, right? Graphics designs, right? There's another aspect of it. Taking graphics design a step further is motion graphics. Motion graphics concerns itself with making our graphics design, whatever design we've come up with, animating them, putting making putting life into it. You understand? So we have some characters that are moving around. We have some text that are dazzling from year to year. Those are what animations. You understand? Animation and motion. You understand? So motion graphics basically is all about trying to put life into your graphics, trying to put some sense of what movement in your graphics design. So it is the world is growing. It is very crazy that as a graphics designer, you don't just become a graphics designer. Another thing that you have to become on the side is also a content creator. And it's not also enough for you to just be a what they call a businesswoman. Maybe you are selling whatever, you understand, online or whatever, or even physically. It's not enough that you are just selling that. You have to take it a little step further by what? Showing the behind the scenes. People want to see how does she even make this stuff? What's the process like? You understand? Let us see behind the curtains, you understand? So you have to capture yourself going to the market, picking up some pieces together, trying to make sense of it. You understand? That journey is basically storytelling. You understand? They call it storytelling in motion graphics. That means you have a story, you have an idea, you have a thought process you are trying to share with people. You understand? So we can create something static and it will also convey the message. It doesn't really matter. People that are going to consume the file, people that are trying to market to are going to find it appealing enough. You understand? But again, on this trying to get their attention, there are other aspects of what putting things, making things what move, putting some life into some part of your design. So that is the concept of motion graphics and GIF creation. So when it comes to motion is basically when it comes to design, in fact, in the design world, there are some principles that make things work, principles that make things work in this life. And one of those principles is that what people are used to, you continue like that. You understand? What people are used to physically, what they have interacted with, what they have known. You understand? The general knowledge of a particular motion of how something works. If you are trying to replicate that on your visuals, it has to emulate that same way. For example, I have a basketball. Everybody knows that you bounce basketball, right? When you want to make your motion graphics of a basketball, your own is not bouncing, your own is flying in the sky. You understand? Like a kite. What basketball is that, guy? Do you understand? So motion graphics is nothing like it's not out of the blues. It's not something relatable. It has to be something that people are already used to. So in designs generally, you don't do something that you try to stay with the known. If I know that if I open my laptop, it squeaks, right? If I close my laptop together, when I bang it, when I close the lid of my laptop and I bang it, it's gonna make some sound. Ta! You understand? If I put a drop of water inside the cup, it's going to pop somehow like that. If you are trying to replicate the same thing in a motion graphics, it needs to carry that same character, the flow, the movement. You try to emulate as much as possible into all those things. But I'm not even here to even talk to you about character animations or this deep sense of animation. I'm talking to you about after you've created a flyer, after you've created a design, now you want to create some content. And this is why motion graphics comes to play. And you don't confuse motion graphics for what's it called it? Videography, or should I say video editing. Yeah. Motion graphics is not video editing. Motion graphics, you can see the name, motion and then graphics. Motion graphics is tied down to the word graphics. So it has to be a flyer, jumping, turning, something, maybe the Around where we have the cost of the training, there's something animating in that section that keeps rolling, you know. We have they want to show you that in this club they are always open 247, and just by their entrance you have a 247 sign that in multicolor that is just rolling. You understand? Motion graphics design is all about graphics. How do you make your graphics bounce and move and turn and do a lot of stuff? You understand? So there are different ways we do that. That's what motion graphics is all about. But I don't think I'll be going into motion graphics as much. What I'm about to talk to you about is the second one, which is more about video editing and video creation. So it uses a lot of, you can also implement some graphics in that as well. But again, I want to believe that you understand the difference between motion graphics and then video editing or videography, right? Videography, you have to go ahead, get somebody, voice over, you are capturing a scene, you are flying a drone, and maybe there's a voiceover in the background. Oh, welcome. This is the way we do this. Welcome to social. And somebody just talking in the background while you are showing some different scenery. You understand? That's videography. That's video editing, whatever. Motion graphics is tied down to a graphics. It has to be a flyer. It has to be a carousel design. It has to be something of graphics that is being animated. You understand? That is continuously moving. That is continuously changing. You understand? That's MoGraph, right? I have a sample of that, and I know that you must have seen something like that, maybe from the post. It does not have to be everything on your graphics. It can just be a couple of elements. Let me show you one simple one that I created recently using our Canva, in fact. So I'll bring this guy into my screen here because you guys are not seeing that part. I'll make it visible. I'll go to, I think, this design. So when I open this design, you can see this is a carousel design, and this part will continue to animate because this is a GIF file, right? This is a GIF file, right? It will continue to animate, shows that there's an arrow, like putting a sense of life. This is an example of emotion graphics, right? Because it's still tied down to the graphics that have been created, right? So this is an example of motion graphics. As simple as this, guys. It's as simple as this, and then it can be more complex to a whole another level that is even more complex than this. So this is what I was talking about in terms of video editing. I had this idea to create this slide of what the surface versus the depth. This is the slide from start to finish that I created. I showed you guys this yesterday. But I told you after I was done with it, before I even uploaded online, I was thinking of, let me do some content to just put this guy out there now, to just show people that we are working in the background. So I created this. And it's just a video of me working. This was when I was done. I have finished whatever I wanted to do. I was done, but I wanted to just capture the making. The crazy part is that while you are working, you don't really care about all this content stuff. It's after you're done, you want to put some things together, and then maybe you start considering creating all these things. So it was I just placed my phone at some angle, some close up, and some top view while I'm working, while I'm clicking on the laptop, whatever, and then showing the design that is currently there. It also comes with a sound as well. I don't know if the sound will come with the video. It's came with a sound, basically. This is an example of something like a thriller. It's like a thriller. So you just like when a movie comes out, they create like a thriller for you, like an appetizer. That's what they call it, like an appetizer. That it gets you, oh, what is this guy working on? When I uploaded this, people were like on the DM, this guy, what are you doing? What is this one? This is very nice. And they have not even seen the slide. You understand? So you go ahead and then upload the final project. You have already synthesized these people. So whenever you finally drop the entire job, they are excited to go on and pounce on it. Do you understand? So we are always kind of driven to always create content around whatever we are creating. Sometimes it's not even about the video. This one is more of my face. Something similar to that is this one here.
Okay, y'all ready
So this is just different views. There's a voiceover in the background and just you working. Does not really. These are content. This is more video editing. This is more this is more video editing, and this is more of videography, right? Like motion graphics. Motion graphics is more of what your graphics bouncing and what we're taking around. So that is the idea behind it. Not motion. We have motion graphics, and then we have video editing. So I'm trying to introduce you guys to one of the software that I use quite a lot. The one I started with, I was once managing our social media platform. Let me see if I can still get there. So can I still get there? Let me see. Let me bring our YouTube channel here. So I work for a company known as Costech. And Costech, I was managing Costech's social, what's it called? It's a social media. We created a YouTube channel during the time that I started the company. I was the one managing the content on that. So we host something known as Smart City Conference every year. And then, let me see Costech, if it's there. Costech Computers. We hold Smart City Conference every year. So I didn't really start with ChatGPT. So I said ChatGPT. I really start with CapCut. This is one of the video I shot back in our Lagos office. So different views. Don't worry about this. This is not what I'm going to. I'm going to let's go to video. So you see our conferences. These are past conferences that have happened. And every conference has a theme. Let me see if I can go to the playlist if you can find it there. There is an animation that I do every year for different conferences that we get started. This is the first one. This is 2021. This is the animation, like a small, simple animation. Look at this. This is motion graphics here. And then you just go ahead with going into the video. As simple as that small 30 minutes or 30 seconds or 15 seconds graphics. That was done with just as simple as After Effects design or Premiere Pro. I use Premiere Pro and After Effects for all these simple designs. Let me see if I have another one again. Let me see. What about this one? There is this one as well. Let me see. Can I see this? This is for 2023 event. So this small 30 seconds or 15 seconds or 5 seconds animation, that's more of what video, what's it called? Motion graphics, guys. Motion graphics, that's what I'm talking about here. So that's simple as this intro. They are known as intros. And again, you can have a full one. You can have a full video from start to finish that is just animated like this, right? I'm not also 100% into video motion graphics, so I don't really know how to do that. You understand? But again, as a graphic designer, if you feel like that is what you are interested in, doing a lot of motion graphics, then you need to go into it. Go and learn the proper things, and please don't learn CapCut. Don't learn what's it called again? What's this other guy? Don't learn CapCut. Don't learn all these small in video. Don't learn all those ones. Go for the proper software that are used for motion graphics and animation. Go to After Effects. Go to Premiere Pro. You understand? Go to all those two. Those are the two major ones that I feel like they are the ballers in the industry. Right? If you can finesse your way around those two, forget. When it comes to video editing, you are one of the forces to reckon with. You understand? Because it's not a joke, right? It's not just something that you just know. Now we have a conference. We have should I call it? It's not a conference like that. Just they call it summer boot camp. It's an annual event here at Costech. So we created. Let me see. What it is. So this is the full video. We created more. We shoot a video. This is what I do. I just play around all these things. And I always make sure that I shoot a video and then I apply my graphics also in between. I don't know if the graphics is going to show. Let me see. It doesn't. Let me see if it's going to come out on the final on the Instagram one that we shared earlier, because I also uploaded it here. This is the video here.
My name is Praise from Cosec Computers. So Cosec Computers will be organizing a summer boot camp for children from the ages of 9 to 24 years.
This is the flyer for the conference. Let me go back a little bit. So these are the this is the let me show the flyer itself.
Hi guys, my name is Praise from Cosec Computers. So Cosec Computers will be organizing a summer boot camp for children from the ages of 9 to 24 years.
This is a flyer. This is not the full design, but at least the same flyer that I created for the summer boot camp training. I just kind of adjusted it for the screen of this my video I'm trying to create. I just adjusted everything, so you can see both the graphics is being used in the video as well. Though it just there's nothing moving here. If something was moving, it would have I could have called that a motion graphics design. But you can see that this is just vectors as it's changing from one frame to another. That's just what is happening. There's nothing changing basically. So you switch from there to the next one, to the next one, to the next one, to the next one, and then finally go into the presentation properly. So, guys, without really boring you with, but really the reason why I show you all these things is because so that just to expand, because our class will not be that long. We will not talk about it to death, but at least you have a glimpse into what we are talking about. So I want to believe most of us are using Telegram already. Most of us are using CapCut already. Let me just hope that we have. Do we have majority of us using? If you are using CapCut, if you know how to use CapCut very well, can you just signify, please? Nobody is saying anything. That means there's no way that can use CapCut on this call. All right, that means this class is for you then. So this is CapCut. I use Premiere Pro a lot, but when I got into this CapCut, oh my god, I just became lazy. There's no point in learning anything again, guys. Just continue with it, and you can see how crazy this thing can be as well. Putting different clips together to form whatever the end product of what you are trying to get. But again, if you understand the principle of how these things work, it won't give us any problem. So I'm going to start again, guys. I'm going to close this and then open a new slide so that we can start discussing about how do we even get started into creating these video edits, right? How do we get started into creating these video edits? Another interesting design that I really wanted to share. Let me see if I can share it. Somebody contacted me, and you'll be surprised. Again, when people don't know stuff and they come to you that they need help with it, forget, you have an edge. And I'm not saying this in a crazy way, that a way that you can just be do whatever nonsense that you want to do and just submit. No, you should have a reputation of delivering something good. You understand? So a friend of mine reached out to me. You will remember this brand. Everybody on this call must remember this brand, Agri Produce Pay. Does anybody remember Agri Produce Pay on this call?
Yes, sir.
Somebody. Nobody remember Agri Produce Pay. It's okay. So Agri Produce Pay, the guy reached out to me. He said he needed a video. He said he needed a video. Okay, all right, about the case. He said he needed a video for his brand, something that would, the application that they created. How do we get people to download? How do we explain product to people and the likes? I said, that's smart now. You can create the video now. So I just leveraged on some things, you understand? I just created this. Again, this
Farmers
is just
and commodity traders
similar to
challenges in tracking produce, managing records, and getting the best market prices. A simple, smart, and seamless way to manage your agricultural business. Track your farm produce easily. Simplify your finances with real-time insights. Stay ahead with updated commodity prices. Fast, secure, and hassle-free payments. Our new identity represents growth, technology, and trust, just like the farmers and traders we serve. Download AgriProduce Pay now and take control of your agricultural business.
This is more like my system is lagging, so the voice is not really following the video. So, but you get the concept. We have the graphics, we have different things. We are trying to combine both some videos and clips together to make. And again, remember what I mentioned earlier, the concept of what storytelling. There should be a story, there should be a script behind it, like an idea, what you are trying to what convey. You see a musician who sing a song, pack, baby, or pull over, baby, or pull over. Reverse, that's the song. They have finished the song in the studio. Now they'll go to a video creator or video director, and that guy will feel like, okay, I like the theme of this song. This theme of this song have so. The kind of vibe of that is while you are doing all this shooting, showing the artist that is singing, let us have a storyline behind it of some girls. They are inside the car and then they were stalked by Whiskey, and then this guy and bracket, they are stopping them, they are checking them. Do you understand that kind of story? Do you understand what I mean, guys? I'm trying to use what you know. That's why I'm saying all these things. Do you get a concept of storytelling needs to be there? You need to have an idea of what you are trying to say or what you want people to feel. You understand? So maybe there's something you're trying to pass across. You understand? So it's just something that is out there, guys. It's just something. I don't know how well to explain that even further than this. So I'll stop right there. Let's go into the discussion of today. So this is CapCut. I'll close CapCut again and I'll start a fresh page without anything. Really, if you ask me, do I have anything planned for today? It's not good to say that, but I'll say it. I don't have anything, but we are going to figure it out as we proceed. Now let's go to this is the land page. As you can see that when I close it, it shows me back to the land page. The land page shows the project that I've worked on from start to finish. I have a couple of them. Some that I've started, somewhere most of them are completed, and some we just stop somewhere. But really, whatever project that you have ongoing is going to show on your project section, and you'll be surprised. Maybe after now, if you have a lot of time, I can also show you the one on my phone. I use CapCut as if I'm using Instagram, so it's also on my phone too. So I can show you the one on the phone and also show you that exactly what we have on this laptop is also what we have on the phone. So there's nothing different. If you can use something on the laptop view, you should be able to use it on the mobile view as well. So if I want to start a new design here, you can see I have a section that shows previous projects that I can start from here, that I can kickstart, I can continue from wherever I left off, or I can click on this section. You will not miss this guy here. Create project. You will not miss this guy here. Create project. So if I have a style in mind, what do I mean by a style? If it's going to be a landscape design, I can select a landscape design. If it's going to be a portrait design, I can select 9:16. That's a portrait design while it's selected. Or I can go to more and look for a screen size that fits exactly what I'm trying to. If it's going to be for Instagram, that's going to be a square design, I can use 1:1, such that it's a square design and it fits very well. So regarding, just use exactly what you are trying to design for. Let's say I'm going to be using 9:16, which is going to be more of what portrait view of my clip. So I'm going to click on what create design. And when I click on create design on this our laptop view, it will go ahead and just disappear just as it has done. It will now open the interface properly. It's coming up, and again my system is full. If I show you what my drive is, you'll be surprised that I'm still using this laptop. Look at my drive. Just let me give you a glimpse. My drive is completely full. So that's why it's lagging a lot. So now I have the design, I have the view, everything is okay. When you open it up after selecting that template and then starting the whole design, it will go ahead to land you up in here using I'm talking about people using the laptop. Maybe I'm going to spend some time on here, and then we'll go back to the mobile view, also show you the same thing again. You should be able to figure out the mobile view yourself. Let's continue basically. So now it's asking me something here. Drag and drop videos, photos, and audios file here. That means on this design that you are trying to create, you are going to be needing some pictures. You might be designing using some couple of clips that you're trying to add together, or you are using maybe just some imagery, maybe you are trying to edit some icons and the likes. You understand? So I'm going to go ahead. Let me see if I can load something up for my drive. I'll load a picture, I'll load a video, I'll load, what else again? Let me load one of them in. I have some videos here, but let me go to download. Let me load a picture in. What picture can we use? I'll pick on this guy and I'll click on what? Open. Now we can load in a lot of things. This is just a picture here. Right? This is just a picture here. Now we have that picture, and then we can go ahead and load something else in. We can load other videos. Let me load the video this time. I'll go ahead into my drive. I'll look for a very nice short video that I can use. Let me scroll down. I should be able to find something like a clip. Oh, like a clip. Let's go to videos and I'll go to video clip stock. I'll just load everything that I have here in. I remember these videos that I downloaded. I'll load them in. So I have videos as well. I have images as well. And then the last part is what? Audio. I'll go ahead to my upload one more time, import. I'll go ahead to look for my music, and I don't have any music on my laptop actually. So let me go into download. Maybe I'll find any audio. That audio, like, I cannot guarantee you is for a Zoom call. I can't guarantee you any audio on this laptop. I'm gonna try, you know. I'm gonna try. I should get something on this now. That's what I'm searching. Just hold on, please. So down this section. CapCut is a cloud software. That means it is online. Whatever you do, it saves on the cloud. It's not saved on your PC unless you extract and save on your mobile device or on your laptop. If you have not exported, your system might go off, your laptop might go off, your phone might go off, in fact. That is not a problem. I don't have any audio here, but I have one audio book that I have here. Let me just open that one instead, so that you can have an idea of how these things work. So now I have added an audio, I've added pictures, and I've just added one single picture. Let me add a couple more pictures. Let me add a couple more pictures. So I'll go ahead to maybe use, I don't want to use my face. I don't want to do that. I'll just pick a couple more. I'll save it. So now I want to create a video. So these are my assets. These are assets that I imported into my design. These are things that I want to use, right? These are things that I want to use. So I can start my design, bringing in some things, just like yourself. Maybe you are doing some, okay, I'm going for my graduation today. I want to shoot myself. And somebody have been capturing your picture. Let me use something that you know. You have seen all these wedding videos now. Wedding videos that they'll capture the ring somewhere, they'll capture the shoes and the husband suit before them actually putting it on. Maybe while the husband is also dressing, they are capturing the husband. So do you understand something like that? So while they are doing all those preparation and the pepperonis, they are capturing some scenes. And then after the entire thing, after the photographer is done capturing those scenes, he goes to the back end, put all these scenes on a CapCut or on any design software that is going to be using, and then start placing them after the other. You know, look like, okay, let me start with this. For example, I want to share an idea of a guy that left his house to go into an office, because that's what I'm seeing in these videos that I have here. I think I can paint that scenario here. I'll play this one to see what it looks like. So this guy is going to work, and I'm trying to capture a very good day, a very good day, a bright sunny day of happy people moving through the streets. I think that's the concept behind this. Let me see this one too. Now, uh, there are some things, I don't know, I cannot explain everything, guys. So there are something that they call close up. There are something that they call it an open view or wide view, just for you to, they are just some ambience into your video. They are not really what you are trying to say. For example, you can see somebody talking and that time they are showing just the skies at that time, or they are showing this and that. So there's a way you combine everything that it just makes sense, and you can get it wrong as well. But again, if you don't get it wrong, you don't get it right. So you can start by getting it wrong first, and then getting it right later afterwards, right? So we want to show a concept of life in the city, a young man living his life and then doing the normal thing that he's supposed to do, growing in the community and just journeying across board. So I'm going to be starting with an open view. I don't like this. Let me start with this guy. I'll start with this city view. But again, this guy wants to show me from to Z. He wants to start with the landscape view. So I'd rather start, I want it to be portrait. I don't want to really show the full scenes because it's going to mess me up when it comes to the portrait view. So I don't want that to mess me up. Come on. My system is dragging. Just hold on a little bit. So I'll go ahead to drag this guy in again. Right? And because the viewer cannot do both portrait and landscape together, so I'll drag the second one in again. That one that I wanted to drag in earlier, so I'll drag it back in. But this time, notice what happens. I will drag the bar to it. Now, it's taking the source file. Look at the first one, which is the portrait. It's trying to align my landscape view of this thing into a what? That portrait view. So you can see that it's following the size of that portrait. Right? What I now need to do is on this section here, I'll just go ahead to what? Increase the size. Sorry, I'm already talking like a designer. I don't even consider you guys as a beginner in this industry. Sorry. So I'll go ahead to delete everything again. What am I trying to do here? I'm trying to get started. I have gathered my assets. I want to get started with editing, right? Let me see if I can make my layout the basic one, default. The default one, the video is always here. That's what you see on your laptop. Default one, the image is always here. Because we have set this size like this, can you see that 9:16 here? That portrait aspect ratio, it is currently here, it is grayed out, but you can see 9:16. The size is still there, and we are just supposed to what? Roll with that. So I'll go ahead, I'll start. In order to continue with what I have here, I'll just go ahead and pick something. If you put your image, it will use that same size. It will fit that image into that phone size, that 9:8, right? So I'll go ahead to delete that image. I want to start with this city view, but again, I want to start with a portrait image. So I'll start with something like this that shows the video of a person. I'll go ahead. How do I bring things in? I think I should explain that. I should not just assume. How do you bring things in? If I want to bring an image in, I'll just go ahead to select that image. First, when you click on images like this, it previews. That's why it's previewing here. When I just click on any clip, if it's a clip, it's going to what? Preview it. If it's just an image, it's going to just show the image. If it's just an image, it's going to just show the image. If it's just a video, it's going to what? Play the video out like a thing, because sometimes you don't even want the complete video, you just want a part of the video. So if you can let it play to an extent, and then you can now adjust the clip to that extent, and then just that extent is what you want to bring out to your design phase. Do you get it? So that is why we can preview. That is why when you click on it, you can preview your designs, right? So I want to start with a city view that shows, early morning, city life. So I'll go ahead to increase this guy. I have it in the size of my portrait, but I don't want it like that. I want to increase it so that it fits all the dark area. That's why I'll go ahead to the corner here, and then there's a white handle that shows around that shape. Note, if you don't have this clip selected, the one you dragged into the timeline. Oh, I didn't explain what the timeline is. I don't think I'm let me explain. There's a lot of assumption going on here, guys. So the videos, I've imported my assets. They call this the properties, or should I call it media section. Media is in sense of your pictures, is in sense of your videos, is in sense of your what audio as well. These are medias. This is media's box. This is where you import all your medias. All the things you plan to use on your design, bring them here. Even if it's graphics, bring them here, right? Now, after you are done bringing them here, the next thing you want to do is, in fact, maybe we are going to animate. We are going to make something like a motion graphics today. But I think I'm feeling inspired already because of you guys. So this is assets. Now there's something known as a timeline. Look at this. It shows like a what start point to an end point. You can see like a clock. Should I say a clock? Clock is not correct. It's like a ruler. If you have seen a ruler before, you know that a ruler measures maybe centimeter up top like this. So this is like a ruler. But unlike a ruler, this is taking track of your time. This is 0 second. This is 10 seconds. This is 20 seconds. This is 30 seconds. This is, you understand? Explaining how this entire thing is going to go. Because we have set the aspect ratio to 9 by what? 16 in the beginning. It has saved all these details. Now there's something called a file name. Our file name is 0601. You can change that if you want to. For example, I can call it what? Trial. Getting started with, what's it called? CapCut. That's the course. Immediately I do that, I see that the name has changed. Now it's showing you the file location in my PC, right? Because automatically it saves, right? It's in my PC. Now we have aspect ratio. We selected this while we were getting started in the beginning, in the first place. The next part is the word, the resolution. Resolution is what? Adaptive, because depending on your system RAM, whatever properties, it can what? Present your video in a blur view. But again, resolution does not matter. When you want to export it out, you can now select the perfect resolution for your view. But your system capability is going to determine whatever is going to be here. So I'll leave it on adapted, and I'll go ahead to 30 frames per second. 30 frames per second. I don't know if you know, if you have heard about FPS. Frame per second is just how fast, how many scenes do you want to show per second? You understand? So there's a way it's being calculated. But I know that we have 24, we have 30, we have in fact, we have as low as 15 frames per second, 14 frames per second. So this is more of into videography and video editing. You understand? Of course, it also plays a very big role in our motion graphics as well. Frame per second is how fast do you want your scenes to change? You understand? So I'm going to be using the 30, the standard 30. And then I'm going to go ahead to kickstart. I said the timeline is where we had our design. You can see it's asking me drag material here and start creating. This player here just previews everything that you're doing here. The drama that you're putting here, this one will review all the drama for you. This player shows the drama for you, and that's all. The first category is the media section. The second category is the what? The timeline that helps you to place your design elements and arrange them accordingly. The other one is the next one, a preview of whatever you are working on visually. The third one is just a property palette that shows your file and some, so they're called document properties basically on this section. So I'll go ahead to start again, guys. I think I've done that now. I'll drag that video in. I'm dragging that video in. Immediately I drag it in, look at something that changed here. There's a tag that has been added to this my video. It's now showing what? Added. That means you have added this clip to your design. So I'll go ahead to scale it because it is very small design. This is a landscape view. If I wanted to use this landscape view like that, I'll just go ahead to rotate it like this. But again, who watches video like this? If you want to do landscape, do landscape. If you want to do portrait, do portrait. Right? Because I'm trying to go for portrait, every other video that I get that I'm trying to work with has to what? Align with the portrait view settings of my what? Initial video. So I'm going to go ahead to align this. After scaling it up, I can see adjust it left to right. I'm just clicking and dragging here. So I'll go ahead to make sure that it's starting from this edge here. I want to use this tall building vibe here. So let me play it to see what is happening. Let me see how it's working. It's showing like early in the morning, the city view. If I want to do it very well, I'll just go ahead to add some machine sound in the background, pam, 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 you know, something like that. And then I'll let that play for, let's say, like 5 seconds. How do I know 5 seconds? I'm going to go ahead to zoom in into my timeline. I'll go ahead to hold my control key on my keyboard and I'll scroll in. When I scroll in, you can see that I can see 10 seconds here, but now I can see 5 seconds now. So I'll go ahead to scroll in even proper, and then I can see my 5 seconds. I'll track to that 5 seconds, and then every other part of this video, I don't need it anymore. I can select the video now. While the video is selected, notice something that changed. These property sections that shows the document settings shows the properties of any object that is selected in the timeline. Currently, nothing is selected. It just shows the document settings. When I selected the clip, it's telling me from details about the clip, right? I can scale it, I can rotate it, I can do whatever and do whatever and do whatever to it. These are the properties, right? Now, because it's already 5 seconds, I'm tracking to 5 seconds, and I want to cut this video. So I'll track to 5 seconds and I'll select the video. There's something on this line. These are the modifiers. The modifier, we have the first one, which is selection. The other one is undo. The next one is redo. The next one after that is split to, which is the first thing we are going to be using on the list. When I go ahead to click on split, guys, if you guys know how to use CapCut and I'm just explaining this thing again, I'll bite you guys, because you can just go to something else instead. So split, what does split do? I have the full clip. When I get to my 5 seconds, and when I click on split, it divides the clip into 2, right? And again, how does it know where to divide? It's because this tracker here, that I move from left to right, that I move in my design like this, is the one that shows this guy what to do. So I'll move to that 5 seconds and I'll go ahead to click on split. It divides it to 2 and I'll go ahead to delete the rest of it. I just want the 5 seconds of that video. And then after that 5 seconds, because I want to show the vibe of we are entering into the city. Before it's just showing the city from afar, and then we want to show that we are entering into the city. So I'll go ahead to move closer. I'll use this top view here, this view here. I'll use to show that we are moving closer in the city. So I'll go ahead to drag this other clip in. When I drag this other clip in, similar to the first issue that I had, this clip is a landscape view, right? And I'll go ahead to adjust it again, scale it up so that it fits my portrait view. I'll leave it centralized. Maybe I can move it to this side a little bit so that it shows a sense of the building. Let me play it just to have a vibe of what it shows like. You can see that it's zooming in down and then just showing the cities and the cars moving. So I'll pan it a little bit more. I want it to show the video of the buildings and also show the cars that are moving. So I'll do something here. I also track the next 5 seconds. After this 5 seconds, that means I'll stop at 10. I want another 5 seconds of that. I'll select this clip again. I'll go ahead to select the next one, split. Now, after the word split, can you see the split command? Control B. That's the split command. I'll go to the next one after that. Can you see split and delete? But again, design is all about details, guys. Graphics designers need to be concerned about details. Graphics designers need to be concerned about details. So the details here is that look at this icon here. This icon shows delete, but you can see delete, it has a dotted side on the left and then show the solid on the right. Unlike split, both of the symbols are showing and visible, right? The other one is dotted on the left and then visible on the right. The other one is visible on the left, dotted on the right. What does this mean? If I go ahead to select the first one on the list, it's going to delete this part. Look at where guys, look at where if I go ahead to use the first one, it's going to delete this part of the design and reserve this part. But if I use the second one, that dotted line is going to cut this part off and then retain this part. Let me try the first one. The first one is this. It will cut this part off and then retain this side. Can you see that? Ctrl Z. That's not what I want, right? I'll go back to the next 10 seconds again, but this time I'll use the second one that is here. It's going to cut this part off and leave this one for me. So I'll go ahead to use that. Can you see that? Instead of splitting first, after splitting, I'll now go ahead and select this one that I don't want and delete, like I did the first time. I did that the first time so that I can see that that's how it works. Do you understand, guys? I don't know. Can I get a feedback, at least that we are together? Can I get a feedback that we are together? Hello?
We are together, sir. Hello, sir. Hello, sir. Network don't dey move like this. Sir, we can't hear you again.
Sir, we can't hear you again. Probably it's the network. Network, Mama, right there.
Guys, all right. Are we still together, guys? Or should we just round it up here? Are we still together? Can you guys hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
All right,
good
I'll go ahead
afternoon.
to you. I know that our time is fast spent already, but let's just complete something here. I want to put a view because you can see they are just separate clips. But as we are putting them together, we are telling a story. Let's see. I'll go ahead to the last part again. I want to show that we are inside the city now. This time, we are not far away from the city anymore. Now we are on top of the city, and then we are going inside the city now. That's why we are using this. So I'll go ahead to bring this guy again into this design. And again, I don't want this one to be as long as 5 seconds. So it's going to be like we are just previewing it very briefly. I'll use some, let me see if I can make it shorter. Again, it's a landscape design. I have to scale it up to fit that portrait view. And again, the core guy is the what? The traffic lights, just to show that we are inside what? The city. Now, because we are inside the city, let me see. I like movement area. I like this movement area. So I'll go ahead to cut everything up to this point. Let me play it again. Let me see how it goes. Actually, it's not bad. So I'll look at it like this. Just stop it around. I don't want it to be as long as 5 seconds. So I'll zoom in very closely. And I'll drag it somewhere around here. And I'll go ahead to trim it off. Trim and delete. Trim and delete is what I'm going to use. And I believe you understand how trim and delete works by now. So after that, we have the traffic light. Now we want to show the people. Now we are showing a sense of, well, let's show the city. Let's show the city in a view. So I'll go ahead to show this next city by what? Using this on the line. I'll pick up this guy and then zoom in close again. You already know the process. I'll scale it up. Why am I scaling it up? Because we just showed the traffic light recently. So let us show the traffic light again, but in another context of what? Movement. You understand? The city, right? And then just cut away from that. We don't want it to be so serious. So I'll go ahead to select from there again. I'll go ahead to what? Trim and what? Cut from there. Now that I've shown the traffic light, I show that now we are in the city. Now I can go ahead to what? Follow through by what? Using a more visually appealing end, like showing the people. Because now on this end, people are far away. Let's do a close-up where we are moving with people. You understand, basically. So that's why this woman works now. I'll bring in this woman. I'll scroll to the side as usual. Now, there's a part where she was standing and a part where she started moving. I'm more interested about when she started moving. In fact, from the first step. So I'll go ahead to what? Now, this time, this is where I want to pick it up from. So I need everything on this side. I want to cut everything from this end. I wouldn't use this one because it will take off this end. I'll use the first one, which cuts this one and what? Leave this one. This first one on the list. I'll do that and then it continues from there. Let's see. And then you can see, shows that what the camera is following the lady. It's even showing her cocoa shoe. So I'll wait for her to show her full shoe there. Just wait for her like this. In fact, I don't want it to show her full shoe. Let me just let her take the next step. And then we stop it here. And then I'll go ahead to also what? Trim that off. Now I want to show I want to show that we have this thing under control. Now I'll go ahead to show the second person. She is going. We'll show the other guy that is coming. Now this is our actor here. Though he's not really showing like it's our actor, but this is my own actor on this scene. If you like, I set him as the actor or not. So it's our actor by default. So here he is coming around, coming around. But look at something here. I like this clip. I like this clip, but it's not really dramatic for me. Just like this other one too, it is too static. I enjoyed the very beginning of this one. Do you know why I enjoyed it? The camera was following the lady and then it stopped. It stopped following the lady and then, but now you can see this one is not even following the guy at all. It's just static. Now, how do we simulate the camera going to the guy? Meanwhile, the camera is not actually going to the guy in the first place. I like the fact that the guy is walking to the camera, but I want the camera to also go to the guy. How do I do that? So this is where animation goes in place. This is where setting a scene goes in place. So I'll go ahead now. From the beginning of the clip, I'll go ahead to select that. And then I'll do something. Can you see a scale here? Can you see scale? I'll use scaling to help me to do that. I can use some animations. Animation will not really give me what I'm looking for. Let's go crude here, like manual. So I'll go ahead here. From the beginning section, I'll go ahead to set a tracker for the scale. That look at the scale here. That means by the time it plays up to this point, like in the next 5 seconds, I want it to have gotten to, I'll not scale from the middle. I want it to have gotten to what? This point. How does this look? You might not understand now, but let me show you what that means. Now, let's see if what we have even done is working. Can you see that? Do you see that? Now we have not just the guy walking to the camera on the second one, but the camera also what? Fast, and it's very fast. Come on. It's very fast. We can slow that down a little bit more. So I think it's too fast. But it does not matter. I can, where did it stop? I think it stopped here. It stopped here. So I'll go ahead to what? Track and then end my design there. I'll end my design there. So I'll go ahead, track to that point and then what? Cut and what? Edit. Now that we have shown the guy, we want to show the guy going into the office. That's why I'll bring this guy here. Right? I want to show the guy going into the office. So I'll select this guy, scale it up to, because it's a landscape video. Again, if you are working on a portrait video, please, when you are looking for stock videos, look for what? Portrait videos alone. If you are working on landscape video, if you have seen stock video, use the word landscape video alone. That I'm improvising here does not mean you have to do the same thing, guys. So I'll go ahead to what? The guy is coming down to the office and then drags the what? Undo to enter into the office. For example, this view is already getting me. I like the fact that it's stretching to the undo, but maybe we have to pan it to this side a little bit so that it shows the undo, and then even after dragging, it still shows the guy a little bit. So let's see how it goes. Drags the undo, shows the guy's hand, and then let it stop here. So I'll go ahead to stop it. I'll go ahead to cut and what? Cut and delete here. And then I'll add the part that this guy is inside the office already, is going to his floor. All right. The guy is in the office already, but is going to his floor. So now I'm scrolling out. And then let me see how quickly we can formulate this end. I'll start this design from here. So I'll select this guy here. I will cut and delete from the left side so that I can pick it up from that end. And then I don't want it to show completely. I don't want you to see that it's already getting to the end. And then I'll what? Cut and what? Delete. What does this look like, guys? As a video editor, we have an idea of what? Again, sound is very, very powerful, guys. Sound is very powerful because sound would add more meaning to this. But let me go ahead to play it without sound yet. For example, I have some sound going on this, and I'll turn it down again. So I'll play it again from the beginning. Let me show you guys on the full view. Don't mind the blurry view sometimes. Idea of a city, like early morning vibe. On a normal cinema movie, you see by this time they have cut into the bedroom of the actor talking or whatever. But look at the idea of this lady working and then this guy also working, showing the people are, the corporate lifestyle going into the office, and then this is where we are currently. Now we would know we don't feel like a video editor yet. I know that you don't feel like a video editor yet or a designer yet. But now after we have gotten into the office, do I have any other clip? I think that's the entire thing that I have here. I don't really have the guy inside the office, which I can actually get. But I think I'll stop it there for now. Now, how do we bring this guy into life? One of the ways we bring our videos into life is what? Adding sound to it. There's something that they call what? Effect. Right? There's something that they call what? Effect. For example, I want to show the city view. While I'm showing the city view, because there's water here, I want to make the sound of water going on here. Maybe I don't even need to do sound of water, but let me go to what? I'll go to something known as what? Audio. Look at where I'm currently on media. Can you see media here? That's the section that we are currently at. I'm switching from media and I'm going to the part known as what? Audio. If you can see my mouse on the top left corner. When I go to audio, it will start showing me the presets that are inside CapCut by itself. So I can see Unforgettable Evening. Let me play it to see what it sounds like. Again. This is not really Unforgettable Evening. The vibe that I'm actually looking for is more of what? City. Let me look for city. I'm just going to click and enter. And guys, by the way, we are making these things up. City street. Let me see. I see how these tools work. I don't want to spend a lot of time, so I'll go ahead to pick up this my finder here. I'll just pick it up from this end. I'll now ask any audio that I'm interested in, I click and drag and put it on the timeline. Now you see that the first timeline that I have is the one for visuals. Can you see that? It's one for visuals. The second one is the one for what? Audio. And the way audio is showing is different from the way what visuals are showing, right? The visuals have cut, separated everything from one scene to another up to this last point. And again, the audio goes on and on and on, but I'll trim it down to where the last part of our design. So I can click and drag this guy. I can click and drag on this guy up to this end point here. Right? And I'll go ahead to zoom back into what I have ongoing here. And this is the clip. So let me start again. What we have watched before, we are going to start again using audio now. Something like a lifestyle vibe, like a lifestyle, like, do you understand? This is the scene where after here I can just, if I had the proper clips, after here I can just have the guy enter into a conference room that is telling guys, enter into a conference. Hi, welcome, beautiful people. I'm going to be presenting to you today the HR for our company, presenting or welcoming somebody into the office. You understand? We already showed the guy getting started in the city, working in the neighborhood, getting into the office. Do you understand that kind of vibe? I don't know if you guys get the story that I'm trying to tell here. But again, we have an audio. But that's not just what I want. I want some sound effect as well. Sound effect is not like tone, not like a music. There are like some transitioning. There are some, like a sound. It's for maybe you can look for a cup, maybe pouring water into a cup, something like that kind of sound. So, and you can see the ones that are showing this diamond sign, they are paid. If you use them, they won't let you export it if you didn't pay for it. Do you get me? Do you get it? It won't let you export it. if you are hearing this kind of sound, there's an awkward movement trying to happen, right? So we have all this kind of different sound that we are used to already. I'll just look for one that I need. For example, I need the sign of what? This woman that is walking here. I need the walking sound. So let me just go and look for walking. To make that more realistic, let me see some walking sound that makes sense. Actually not bad because the woman is wearing heels. So I'll go ahead to drag that sound in. I'll start from that lady's end. And then I won't use everything as usual. And again, it does not really have to, the sound does not really have to overwhelm my sound. So you can see that I'll just go ahead to reduce that a little bit. I don't know if we should use that same sound for the guy again. Ctrl Z, I'll just Ctrl C, V. On the other side, let's see if we can use that same sound for the guy again. Though, I don't know, guy's shoe does not really sound like that, but let me see the other leather shoe. Correct. So there's separate sound. Let me use the leather shoe for the guy. So I'll bring that in for the guy. Both of them are working in. So let's see how that sound again with the sound. Again, it is sound, it is there, but because I didn't take it up, again, you don't want this thing to be shouting like as much, but let me raise it up so that I can hear it. I don't know if you can hear it, but let me go ahead. I'll raise it up. This is outrageous. I just want you to hear the sound. Can you see that it's kind of even in sync with what we are talking about? But I'll just take them down. They're already working for me. I'll take them down a little bit. Take them down a little bit. And now I feel like we have something here. And now this guy is opening a door. You can see this guy is opening a door. I need that sound, right? I need that sound of door opening or something like that. Opening a door. Door opening. I like that. I like this one. So I'll go ahead and put that here. Just where the guy's hand touches that handle, I'll put it from that beginning. So that means after we get to this point, though really, does aluminum doors sound like that? Well, you get the gist. Let me just move it hard a little bit. Immediately the guy touched the undo. It dragged from here. It dragged from here. Let me take it a step back like this. So I'll start the audio from here. So let's see again. You understand? That sound is nice, but I want to reduce it. I don't really want to make it obvious like that. So let's continue. You understand? In fact, after that, I don't want to hear the rest. I can shut it down up to this point or go ahead to zoom in close to it. Instead of shutting it down anyhow, I can just go ahead to so I have the designs. Let's continue now. Let's see. So because it's soft too, it is low in volume. I think it works now. You know? So now we have the guy walking up the stairs. What have we done here? We've gathered some clips together. We've added an audio in the background to it. Again, the audio is also loud. Maybe a little bit down, not as high as it is. Try it again. Do you get it? It's not so complex like that. I've not done anything special if you really ask me. So we have that, we have everything going on. What other thing do we have to add here now? So now that we have the sound going on, we have some effects added to it. You understand? Now, most of the time, there's something known as transitioning now. transitioning is that now we have this first clip here. If I select it, you'll see the barrier of the first clip. There's a next clip. There's a clip after that, and then the next one after that, and then the next one after that. Do you get the gist? So how do we make this thing work, right? Now, the first thing that I do here is, for everything here, there's an effect. What do I call effect? I'll go to, you have used media, you have used audio. There are sometimes you want to add a text to it, maybe getting started with a day. Maybe, I don't know, let us use the next one. I don't have any idea what we are going to do. Let's click on text. If you don't put something there, we don't. So I'll click on plus text. And that text is there. We'll call it, I'll call it a day in the life. A day in the life. I like that text. Let me go and look for another font. Sierra is not bad actually. So I'll look a day in the life. I don't know where it should be, but maybe that is okay. Can I make it even bolder? Not bad. A day in the life. Another default text again. Wait, madam. Come back here. So a day in the life. Where's the next? Okay, the next text is not there yet. So I'll go ahead to again add another default text. We don't click on that default text. Let me do something. I'll go ahead to select the same guy. I'll go ahead to use on my Alt key. I'll duplicate it. Now, because I've duplicated it, I'll put it on top of each other. That means there'll be two texts. How do I know? Let me move it here. You can see that there's a text and there's another text here. This one is not a day in the life. I'll call it a day in the life of a. Let me use of a separately. And then I'll go ahead to duplicate this guy one more time upward. This one is going to be what? Developer. The guy looks like a developer. Now, what font do we use for that? I need something dramatic. Now my system will start fumbling now because I'm looking for fonts. Cool. So let me see. I used to have one dramatic one. You can see all these diamond fonts, they are paid fonts. So if you want to use them, that means you are ready to pay for them. If you don't want to use them, there are other ones that can still deliver the same kind of result, and they are free. So they won't give you any headache afterwards. Let me use this guy. Me and these beavers. So I'll increase that a little bit. This of a, I don't know, I put it around here. I need a composition basically. This is your graphics design skills coming into place. Trying to organize, create like a composition going on there. So I don't want that off to be capital off. Maybe off to be just, I don't know, it's off a, this of a, one needs to be capital. I don't know if it's that off or the A. I don't know. Maybe the O alongside the A. Something needs to look sharp. So a day in the life of a developer. So I'll go ahead to bring this closer to them. So that means at the beginning part, I'll go ahead to drag the three of them, put it to the beginning. That means immediately this program is starting from the beginning. You need this to be here at the center. And how do you want them to come in? Maybe they should come in from fade in, out, or whatever. How do you want them to come in? You can decide that. Maybe I can even use the same thing for everything actually. So I'll go ahead to select this same guy of A. I'll use what? The P bars. I'll use beavers. I can use the same font for everything. So that is season. Oh no. Guys, I saw this guy very easily the other time, and I can't find him anymore. Can't find the guy anymore. So the guy is not showing anymore. I'll just leave it. So this is what I want it to be like, starting from the beginning, showing us like, in fact, while he's doing that drum set, when everything lands, that's when I wanted to show the name. So like this space, this part, exactly where it hits that high note, that's where I want to pick it up from. So everything will start from that point. It will start empty, and then immediately the drum set and everything drops. The name, title of the clip shows up. I want everything to be as bold as this guy, but it's not giving me that chance again to change the font. So let me go and try it again. And then it goes up again. So it is that simple. Let's use that. Let me select the two again. Maybe I'll align it to this side. Let me see if it ends exactly on that end. How would it take up? I want it to go before then, so I'll Ctrl Z. I'll leave it exactly as it is. So we'll animate it, don't worry. We can have some effect. In fact, let's go to the animation. Let's do the animation directly. The three of them are selected. They'll what? Fade in and then will fade out. As simple as that. As simple as that. There's no serious discussion there. And maybe we'll do, okay, maybe there should be discussion there. I'll select a day in the life. A day in the life, both of a day in the life would be fade in, fade out. Yeah, now this guy, no waste my time. It will be fade in, fade out. All right. But the developer that is going to come in is going to be typed. Developer's animation is going to be what? Like a type, I don't know. Typewriter, that kind of vibe. So let's see how let's see. In fact, the developer needs to go in a little bit because it is after that's shown a day in the life and the developer can type out. You get the gist. I'll Ctrl Z. The way it was before, when I played it, everything started all together and it's not really making any sense. As a day is showing, everything just typing no. But immediately I created a gap, like a timer. I'm leaving some space for those ones that are fading in to fade in first before we now type the developer. Now look at how better it has just done. Look at how better it's looking now because of just that small tweak. Again, I'm not doing the perfect design here, guys, and it's not just about, there's nothing about being perfect here. But you get the gist about the simple animation and timing, right? And timing. That's all. So that's all we want to do there. Because I want to use this text. That's why I explained that. Let me go ahead and use something else again. A sticker. Now, if I go to a sticker, it's going to show me different stickers that I can use. Most of them are GIF. What I call GIF is that they are animated. They move. Can you see that they move around? If you touch them, they are showing. You understand? They are showing as if there's something happening here. Like it's giving you a thumbs up or something like that. Completed. That face. I don't know, but I don't need all this. I don't need all this design. I don't need sticker. Maybe the sticker that I can use is this one, sure. If I want to use this one, I'll go ahead and just drag it to my workspace. If I want to use it, I'll use it from the beginning of my design. Why? Because it's going to show on my timeline. Let me move to it so that I can see it. Look at how it's showing. It's going to show on my timeline, and I want to scale it down to the barest minimum. I just put it at this corner here to show that the recording is what's ongoing, and then it will cut across from the start of my video to the end of my video. I don't have to use the video. I don't want to use it, but because I'm explaining everything, let us use everything. It seems like the recording going on. So let's continue. That's the sticker end. That's not what I'm even going to. There's an effect. I try as much as possible to stay away from effect. If you really, that's one thing that I try to do very, very well. Just avoid effect. But if you want to use effect, be my guest. There are different effects you can use. You can fade in, you can blur focus, you can do all this small stuff. For example, you can make the beginning even more dramatic than just having the song play out like this. If I go ahead to use some nice effect like this, our blur focus now. If I go ahead to use that blur focus, let me blur the focus of not this text. So I'll drag in the effect. Now this effect needs to be directly on this section here. Now I'll place it. It has to be, because if I leave it, let me leave it like this so that you guys can see the difference. Ctrl Z. If I go ahead and play it out, look at it. The blur focus even blurs out my text, right? But I don't want it to affect my text. That's why I'll bring my text up here and I'll put the blur correct. I'll put my blur focus below it. So it only affects what? The image. Can you see that? Now I feel like it is too long. The blur focus is too long, so I might have to shorten it a little bit. Maybe bring it down around here, and then let's see how it goes. All right, just the right time that thing is fading in. I think it's better now. And like, because it follows that sound of that guitar or whatever, it's working for me. But you understand what I mean? I have that going on. I have the other one blur effect going on. I don't want to really talk about the blur. I don't want to talk about it. I don't use it, but I use some designs. Most of the time I use glitch a lot. Glitch for my design. Now, what I'm going to that I was explaining earlier is transitioning. Moving from one clip to another clip, you need some transitioning going on. For example, look at most of it. What helps me to determine how I'm going to transition a particular clip is how does that clip end. Let me look at this one. It ends at the part of still looking at the city and then showing the inside of the city. Now, because I'm showing from the top view, I want something that's going to be as if you are zooming in. You understand? Like you just zoomed in. So I'm going to go ahead, because, again, your own instinct might be better than myself. But what I'm saying is, I'm looking at the design, it's like I'm outside. Like this view is like I'm on a boat looking at the city. When I'm here, I'm on the maybe helicopter or whatever, and I'm seeing the top view. So it's like I'm zooming in into the city. So I like that zoom vibe for this section. So I'll go ahead to zoom. And one good thing that I try to do as a pro in this video editing is that try to maintain consistency with your word transitioning. If you are going to be using zooming in, continue using that zoom in all through. Or, just if you don't use different transitioning, like use 17 transitioning in a single video. You can use 2 and be switching from the 2, or you can use 3 and be switching from the 3. But I try to limit the number of transitions that I use. So what I'm looking for is that zoom in. Let me look for it. I like this. Let me see the poster zoom. I think I like it. No, maybe not. Maybe not. So I'll go ahead to maybe drag this. Let me see the poster view and then drag it to the middle. The transitioning needs to be touching. You need to drag it to the middle of the where the 2 clips meet. That's where I'm going to drop the transitioning. So I'm going to drop the transitioning of this one. I'll click on OK. And then I'll go ahead to show you what that looks like. Come on. That's my system. Don't worry. I'll try it again. Now look at how it's showing. It's like it's editing like a paper scribble before it blows up. You get it? This is not actually what I was saying. This is not the kind of zoom I'm talking about. This is not the kind of zoom I'm talking about. But it works. But let me look for the proper zoom that I'm looking for. I'm looking for the one that actually zooms as if it's dragging into the city. I don't want blur. I don't want slide. I want transition. Let me go back there again. Let me see. Master, whatever. I don't want to waste your time, really. But again, I don't just want to do whatever too. But I believe you get the gist. And let me see. I wish I can see that zoom. Camera focus. Spray paint. Dissolve. Hmm. Maybe I'll use just one of these just to move on quickly so I don't waste our time here. Let me try the next one here. And then I'll try it again. Let's see how this one. This well, I'll go for the first one. I don't even like this compared to that one, so I'll go for the first one. That's scribble paper vibe. It works. Let's continue. And then the next one again, it shows like what going into this. Maybe we'll use the same thing again because you know the drill, right? So where is that paper view? I saw one zoom. Where's the zoom that we used, guys? Let's see the zoom again. Can I duplicate my zoom? I cannot duplicate my zoom. I have to go and look for the zoom that I used. So I think we use this postcard. So I'll go ahead to drag this postcard back to the middle of this one again. And then let's look at this edge. How does this transition? This transition from here to here. Because we have used postcard here, I'll just use from this one should just drag to the side. Let me just use drag to the side for this one. So while we have this, I'll go ahead to scroll down. Scroll down. Under transitioning, I want more of what distort because I want it to drag, not distort like that. I want slide. What is slide to left or something like that? Let me use what I'm used to. I'm not saying that slide to left, so let's use the guy that we are familiar with. I don't think that will give us any problem. So I'll postcard that again, postcard the next one again. Again, transitioning, I don't know that you have to completely use one, but I'd rather use one instead of using something that I don't know. So I want something that is going to be more, maybe I can make this better and then send a link to you or whatever. I can make this better and then send this to you. Instead of having a postcard at the end of that one, this one can be more of what fade out. So I'll go back to the animation for this one and I'll fade this one out. Just fade out. Also, just fade out. So this is the final project of what we have done. We have added some clips together. We've added the text that shows the beginning. We've added some what stickers alongside. We've added some transitioning between the scenes. We've added an audio. We've added some sound effects. And the final product of what we came up with so far is this guy here. So it's just a simple thing that we created. Do you see? So that is it basically, guys. I can add some other filters to it that looks like something is shining, or maybe a clip as they are cutting the scenes. It can be like some shining effect. Not this ones. I'm talking about some glows. Some glows that shows from one clip to another clip, some bleach effect basically. I can add just to make that flow more interesting. But I think you get the gist already. Whenever I'm done with whatever editing I'm trying to do, immediately I'm done, I feel like I'm satisfied. I can go ahead and click on what export. And when I go to export, it's going to ask me some few questions on how do you want to get your design out? How do you want to get your design out? So the way I want to get my design out, can you see now it's giving me some, I see your postcard is paid. Postcard is paid. So I have to go and use something that is not paid. Or if you're part of the pro team, you just go ahead to export. So let me go back to edit and just show you the design again. So I think I won't export because of, I don't want to use something else apart from the postcard. And then this is the final product of what we're able to come up with. Talking about video editing and just simple animation. And that's all, guys. That's basically it. So that's like basic usage of what CapCut. Getting started with CapCut. All these simple things that we created here. If somebody that is new to CapCut sees this timeline, you're gonna feel as if we have done something so serious like that, and we have not done anything serious. We just what added some clips and what transition this entire thing, and then we are done. So, guys, that sums up today's section. I don't. Do you have any question for me? I know that we have spent beyond our time, but was it? Is it worth it, guys? Hear me? Are you still in the class or you have slept off? Abdul Mujib, are we still together or you have slept off? I have Boluwatife. Oh, Yemi is still here. All right, I have Boluwatife Olobode. I have Adewumi. I have Benjamin. Boluwatife wants to talk. Boluwatife that just joined us now. I saw you. I caught you. You have been caught. Yes, you just joined us. I saw you join the class not quite long, like 2 seconds ago. It's all right, guys. I don't know if that is if you feel like that is comprehensive enough, but that's basically what we can cover tonight, and that's getting you started with our CapCut discussion. Did you learn anything today, guys? One person just said, "Did you learn anything today? Like, is it worth the time?"
Yes, sir.
Then I can go to my bed, sleeping and feeling fulfilled. Then, thank you, guys. Have a wonderful night.
Sir.
Recorded. I might have. If you want me to share the recorded section, I can share it with you.
Yes,
Oh,
sir.
I
Please.
don't
Yes, sir. You can share it with me, sir.
Oh,
You want it, sir?
I'll upload it and I'll share it
Thank
with
you,
you.
sir.
All right then.
Good night,
Thanks,
sir.
sir.
Good night, guys. So that sums up our section. Cheers. I'll go ahead to this one. I'll stop sharing. I'll go ahead to the recorder. I'll stop recording.